Combustion devices. What's out there? What's available? What works? What doesn't? Which one's the best for you? Let's break this down and take a look at everything. What's up, YouTube? So, Dave Canterbury from the Pathfinder School, one of the first stars of dual survival, has developed a system. He talks about the 5 C's of survivability. They are cutting, combustion, cover, container, and cordage. These next videos, I'm going to break down each one of those, talk about what are some of the options, what can you use, what works, what doesn't. With this video, we're going to start with combustion. Combustion devices. You got to make fire. How do you make fire when you're out in the bush? Well, there's obviously lots of ways. These are just a few of the examples. There are several more. First and foremost, the Bic lighter. I prefer a Bic lighter over a Zippo. The Zippo fluid tends to evaporate. Sometimes they leak. Or a Bic lighter, they just work. When it's really cold, you got to warm them up in your hands, maybe blow on them, but they'll start working again. I understand high altitudes, they tend to not work as well, but they do work. When they get wet, they don't work. Let them dry out and they'll work just fine. And it's flame. There's no just spark, you have flame. I know everyone talks about using ferro rods and they are, the cool bushcraft thing to do, but I tell you what, if you're in a bad situation and you have all of these things at your disposal, I'm grabbing the Bic lighter. It's instant flame. Survival matches. Now these are great. They work in high winds. They will work in the rain. You can light these things, dunk it in a cup of water, pull it back out, it reignites. They don't last really long, but plenty long enough to get some tinder going, to get your fire built. These little guys, these are pretty much everywhere now, little sparkers. They're a Bic lighter without the fluid. They work great. Again, it's one-handed operation, consistent spark, directed at your tinder. They work great. The magnesium bar. Now, I haven't had much luck with these. This is the Doan's bar, made in the United States. It's the one they issued the military. I'm not a fan. You've got the ferro rod. Just get some sparks. The idea is you scrape off this magnesium. You get a pile of magnesium. You hit it with some sparks, and it lights. It burns really, really white hot. It also burns really, really fast. So you better have your tinder and your other materials ready to go. But I haven't had much luck with them. I've used several different ones, the cheapy Harbor Freight ones. I think Ultimate Survival Technologies makes one. And then the Doan's bar, and I haven't had much luck. I think there's much better options than this. If this is all you have, it's going to work. It's going to take a little bit more work, a little more frustration, but it will work. And then, of course, the ferro rod. This is just a Light My Fire Scout model. I think it's the older version. And these things come in everything from half this size up to a 6-inch, half-inch diameter ferro rod. Everyone loves them. They work great. You just take your knife or you take your striker and just you get the sparks in your tinder. Everyone knows ferro rods. They work great. Most people carry one of these, at least one of these, in their survival kits, in their pack, even just a pocket survival guide. Now, for me, a pocket survival guide, or a pocket survival kit, I'm sorry, I'm going to carry one of these and a Bic lighter. They're just small, they take up no space, and and they just work. You know, there's no real manual dexterity you need to learn. You flick the bit. I think that was their commercials. So along with the combustion devices, I also have out here some tinder options. You have just your basic cotton ball. I know a lot of guys love the cotton ball. They'll impregnate it with petroleum jelly so it burns longer. You know, give this a spark or two, it burns. Just a dry cotton ball, it burns fast. You know, a lot like with the magnesium, you better have your tinder ready really fast. The petroleum jelly tends to make it burn longer, slows the burn rate down, and they're cheap. You know, you buy yourself a thing of petroleum jelly and, you know, package of cotton balls, and I think you're in the whole deal for like $5, and you have hundreds of pieces of tinder. Let's go to the jute twine. Jute twine is also a great tinder. You know, you take it off and you've got to fray it all up. You've got to, you know, tear all the little strings apart and get it big and fluffy. This also burns really fast. But it does work. It's also cheap. You can also, it's multiple uses. You can use it for cordage. You can use it to make your fire. You know, and you can break down the pieces and make even smaller bits of cordage. It's not real strong. You know, this isn't going to be fishing line, but you know, it gives you more than one use than just any of these other tinders. And there's stuff like wet fire. Open this up, you get a little cube. You can set this on top of water. It burns while it's just floating on water. It lasts, you know, 8 minutes or so, and it works great. Then you have these. This is from UST. There's also the Tinder Quicks from SOL. Very similar products. You peel it apart, fluff it up a little bit, hit it with a spark, or your ferro rod, whichever. And again, these will burn for, you know, 5-8 minutes, something like that. Plenty of time to get your materials together and get you a good fire with very little effort. And my favorite, it's kind of woodsy and outdoorsy, Fatwood. You shave off some fat woods and to get yourself a big pile of fluff, you hit it with a match, a lighter, you hit it with a spark, and it burns. It burns hot, it burns relatively slow. You get a lot of black smoke because, you know, this is just pine wood that's been impregnated with pine pitch. But it burns great. And you can also make feather sticks out of this if you really need to have something burn for a long time to really try and get your fire going. I carry a bunch of these in my kits. I love Fatwood. You can find lots of videos on the internet about, you know, finding Fatwood. You can buy this in stores. You can buy a big box of it from like Home Depot. Sticks just like this. Or you can find it out in the woods. You know, there's lots of videos to show you how to find it, where to find it, what to look for. You're basically looking for a dead pine tree. When a pine tree dies, the pine sap, gravity pulls the pine sap back down into the base of the tree. So that's where you're going to find it. So combustion devices. Again, there are others. These are, I think, the most popular. There's lots of other kinds. There's different styles of ferro rods. And also there's multiple different kinds of tinder. But this is just a quick video on what there is, what's available. Pick up a couple different kinds, give them a try, find out which one works best for you. I would recommend, you also hear the saying, 2 is 1, 1 is none. I would definitely recommend, when it comes to combustion devices, keeping more than one in your kit. Whether it be a lighter and a ferro rod, matches and a ferro rod, whichever. I kind of keep these two in one category as flame, and then stuff like this in a category as spark. In my opinion, it's best to keep at least one of each. If you're going to keep two, one from this category, one from this category. These will work wet, where obviously the flame, may or may not. The survival matches are a little different, but if it's raining in a constant rain, these won't stay lit either. You get them out of the rain, they may reignite, but in the rain, they won't continue to stay lit. So flame and spark, like I said, one of each in your survival kit. That's what I do. I think it's the safest bet. And that's it. Thanks for watching. This is PA Outdoors. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, and be safe out there, everyone.